Hello and welcome to another recorded class. The topic that we will be dealing with today, or rather the unit that we will be beginning today, is morphology. Okay, and we have already discussed what morphology is when we studied branches of linguistics. Remember what is morphology? Yes, it is the branch of linguistics that studies the relationship between phonemes and morphemes. Remember that? Yes. Okay. So before we get into all that, let's start at the basics. Okay, what is a word? Okay, a word, how do you make up words? Words are made up of phonemes, and that is why I wanted you to study the sounds first. Okay, and now that you have studied the sounds, how they are produced, you understand their three-term label, you can understand how they will be used to how they will be coming together to form words. Okay, and that will be again the next unit is phonology, where you will be studying how all of that happens. Okay, but due to the manner in which our syllabus is structured, we have to begin with morphology round now. Okay, so I'll show you a few words. Okay, and we will be taking help from Pichu for this because I'm using her books. Okay, so look at this. I hope you can see it's a bit bright. This is an apple. This is an orange, right? And yes, this is a watermelon. And I'll show you one more fruit. This is a pineapple, right? These are all words, and when I say these words, you will associate them with the fruits. Apple, orange, watermelon, pineapple, all are words. Okay, let's look at them as words. Now, when we look at them as words, if you look at the word apple, okay, it is one single word, it means a fruit. But if you look at a word like watermelon, if you look at it really, really closely, what will you see? Yes, you will be able to identify that it can be broken into two. Water, melon. Similarly, pine, apple. Right? So that is how from, when you had a basic word and then you add some part to it and you get another word. All right, that is the process of word formation. Most words are formed from already existing words, or they are modified from existing words. Okay, and this is what we will study in morphology. In morphology, we study the structure, the internal structure of words. Okay, that is what we will study in morphology. So morphology is the part of linguistics that deals with the study of the structure of words. Okay, it is also called morphemics. I'll show you morphemics. Okay, morphemics. All right, and it is the study of how morphemes are put together or organized to form words. All right, now we'll come to what morphemes are, but just understand this. Morphology studies how morphemes are put together to form words, or it studies the structure of words in terms of the morphemes. Now, what is a morpheme? Let's look at that. Okay. The morpheme, it is very difficult to show you the exact example of the word morpheme, all right? But it is usually called as the smallest meaningful unit of sound. Okay, now here two words are important, smallest and meaningful. Now, why are these two words important? Smallest phonemes are also the smallest units of sounds. Then how are phonemes and morphemes different from each other? The difference lies in the fact that morphemes have to be meaningful. All right, morphemes have to be meaningful. So morphemes are the smallest meaningful units of a language. Okay, most smallest meaningful units of the language. And this unit, the small meaningful unit, will not be, we cannot break it down further into any other unit, like how I showed you in the example of apple is one unit, but pineapple is two units, and that is why it can be broken down into pine and apple. All right, so that is how we understand morphemes. I'll give you another example of the word. Look at this word, rewrite. Okay, this is a word that we know. What does it mean to rewrite? To write again. Okay, if you break this word, you will see that it is made up of two words, re and write. okay? And these units that you get from this particular word are called as morphemes, okay? So these units that you get from this particular word are called as morphemes, okay? So the word rewrite, it is a word, it is made up of two morphemes, re and write, all right? Similarly, a word like unfaithful is made up of how many morphemes? Try and break it down. Yes, first I can make it into un and faithful. Then I can break it out into faith and full. You see that? So how many words are there? Yes, there are actually 3 morphemes within this one word, unfaithful. Okay, so that is what morphemes are. Morphemes are the smallest meaningful units. Okay, if you, like when we saw in the example of rewrite, write is what morpheme that we got. If I try to break down write again into r and eat, what, does it make any sense? No, it does not have any meaning. Okay, and that is why this is not a morpheme. All right, then when we talk about morphemes, all right, it may be defined as the smallest meaningful unit in the structure of the language. And when we say smallest meaningful unit, it means that you cannot divide it further. All right. Some linguists, they define morphemes as the smallest recurrent elements of grammatical patterning. Okay, now let's not go into all of that. Okay, and they say what they mean is that they are, how words are broken down into smaller units, but they do not give importance to meaning. But what we study, how we study morphology, we are giving importance to the word meaning there. All right, and let's look at a sentence. Okay, let's look at a sentence here and see how it works out. Okay, the clever girls tricked the naughty boys. All right, so that is a sentence that we have. And let's analyze it in terms of morphemes. All right, now if I have to analyze this in terms of morphemes, okay, I can say that this particular sentence can be broken down into the plus clever plus girl is one morpheme. Look at that word girl. Can you break it down? Yes, there is a plural form there. So girl plus s plus tricked. Again, look at that word carefully. Can you break it down? Yes, there is a past form there, right? So you can write plus trick plus ed plus next word the. No, you cannot break it down. It is a single morpheme. Then next word naughty. Can you? No, it is a single word. Again, boys. Yes, there are 2 morphemes there. Boy plus s, right? So that is how you break down this particular sentence into its morphemes. Okay. And one second. So we can say that this particular sentence has 10 morphemes. Okay, count it. It has 10 morphemes. Let's look at another sentence. Similarly, okay, another sentence. The boys played football. Okay, and when you break it down, what happened? You have the, all right, and then you have boy plus s, so that's 2 morphemes. Played, again 2 morphemes, play plus ed. Football, again 2 morphemes, foot plus ball. So in this particular sentence, you will see that there are 7 morphemes. Okay, so I hope you understood what morphemes is. Morphemes are the smallest meaningful units of a language. So if I give you a sentence like this, or if I give you words, you should be able to identify which are the morphemes there. Okay, so that is what we are dealing with here. Okay, and This is basically the introduction to morphology. Morphology is a very, very complicated unit of our complicated branch of linguistics. But for our purpose, the purpose of our class this semester, we only need to understand this much. One, that morphology is the structure of the study of the structure of words. And two, morphemes are the smallest meaningful units of a language. All right. So I hope that much is clear for you. I'll continue the next topics in another video. Thank you. Sorry, it takes a while.